What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. This morning, I just finished watching a movie called Archive, starring Theo James, Stacey Martin, and Toby Jones. First of all, man, honestly, I didn't think, but just because of how things are going right now, I honestly did not think that a sci-fi movie could be done right at this point in the moment with how things are, as far as like the CGI, visuals, and special effects. Just because a lot of people are seeming to hold back on their budget right now. Not saying that there are no good movies at all. That I'm saying. I'm not saying it doesn't mean that they're not good movies. I'm saying that the budgets are not high because of our situation. Uh, so sci-fi movies usually kind of require a high budget because of the visual parts. It's sci-fi. With that being said, let's get into this. All right. For those who have no idea or what Archive is about, Archive is about a scientist named George who pretty much his field is robotics, right? Some years back, his wife passed away in a car accident. So ever since then, he's been working on several models of robots, AIs, to try and bring her back, her sentient or her soul through these robots. And he just keeps making these new models until he gets a perfect humanoid one, that he could, you know, call his wife again. Now, with that going on, he's not supposed to be doing this because of the company that he works for forbids anything like this. All right, they're not really down with that that's sort of project he's doing. All right, so that causes a little bit of trouble for his mission. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he's able to talk with his wife's sentient. I think that's the right word, something like that, through a little machine. But they're telling him every time he talks to her, it's going to get to a point where it's only going to be an audio. So that's another reason why he's kind of racing against time to get this model made. All that going on, that's kind of what shakes the movie up and starts the movie out. Positives. Positives, man. Oh my God. This movie really pulls at the heartstrings, man. It really plays with the emotions. And that's crazy to say that this movie makes you feel for things that are not supposed to have emotions or feel at all. Robots, right? But these robots really, especially the first two models, J1, J2, they're named after the wife's name is Jules. So J1, J2. They are really like his kids because he tells them what to do. He scolds them when they've done wrong. He kind of guides them like he's their father, even though it's supposed to be his wife emulated in each robot. They're really like his kids. So when he moves on to another model, a newer model, that previous model starts to feel neglected and left out. Like they're not good enough. And he's in such a hurry, he doesn't realize that that's how he's treating the rest of, and you can feel the pain within those robots. And the robots, not supposed to have feelings. These robots have dreams and all kinds of stuff, man. and they sense jealous. They have jealous thoughts and all this. It's crazy. This movie did a perfect depiction of that. I like how that played out. You know what I'm saying? Also, remember what I said earlier about the CGI and the special effects? This movie, it pulls it off actually pretty well. Given the the budget and whatever it has, it actually has good visuals, good CGI, special effects for what it does. Because it's not a sci-fi action movie. It doesn't not really action until like maybe the end, somewhat kind of, but it's really a sci-fi drama. It's mostly a sci-fi drama, which just happens to pull off that sci-fi look. It doesn't take any kind of L's towards that. I guarantee you that. Yeah. Another thing, it had a good storyline. The storyline was pretty good, pretty decent storyline. I liked it. Also, something happens within the movie that I did not see coming. And I'm the type of guy, I've seen so many movies that I immediately, within 10 minutes of the movie, start to try to predict in my mind what's gonna happen. And it's not even like I'm doing it on purpose. It's a involuntary thing. All right. But with all of that going on in my head, I still was not ready. I still was not ready, and for that one reason, not just that one reason, but this movie that it blew my mind with that. It blew my mind. Now, the negatives. I think the only issues I had with this were that the actress, no shade towards her, nothing bad, but there were certain scenes where she didn't come off as a great actress with some ways that she handled some parts. But it's nothing to hurt the movie. But it's just when it comes up, I'm like, oh, really? That you chose to do that? Okay, but nothing to hurt the movie. Another situation that I had an issue with was there was a scene of intimacy. I'm not gonna say what conspired or what's going on. I'm just gonna say I wish it would have went a different way. If I were doing this movie, it would have went a different way. When you watch this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think certain actions should have been taken instead of what actually happened. It would have made the movie just that much more like, whoa. But you'll see in due time. All right. And then my last negative thing about this movie, it left a lot of questions to what was really going on. I can't say too much because if I say too much, I'll give away some things that I shouldn't give away. Right? So there's a couple of questions that still I was lingering on after the movie was over. Let's just say that. And maybe you'll see that when you watch this movie. But with all that being said, I'm going to give it a cool, which is so close to a hell yeah. My reason for that is just that if they had just, that scene of intimacy, if they had just did it a little different, if it just went a little different, that would have put the hell yeah on this movie automatically. But cool is almost, it's right on the cusp of a hell yeah. Don't even worry about it. Alright? Still go see this movie. It kind of reminds me of Ex Machina And I thought it was going to be like a copy of that, but it's not. Go see this movie. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out.